There was a peaceful town with religious and great people. When it comes to business, they are all dedicated to offering their services and products. One of them is Jerry, a shy flower shop delivery boy. He also managed their family's greenhouse and worked full-time in the shop after his dad passed away, and his mom left abroad. Minister Stephen leads the town's church. He couldn't contain his happiness because his daughter, Tara, was about to marry her longtime boyfriend. The whole village attended the very much anticipated ceremony of their dearest Tara. Romantic music filled the air, and the guests couldn't hide their tears. One of them is the emotional tailor of the town, Willow. She treats Tara as her daughter, and she can't believe the sweet lady will soon enter another chapter of her life with Pete. The wedding time came, but no Tara appeared in the church. She has been tardy ever since, but the minister never expected her to be late for her wedding. He entertained the guests while waiting for her. Tara, on the other hand, is already done with the makeup. Her dog, Gabe, ran to the backyard with the wedding ring. Tara followed him but never found the rings he hid under the doghouse. The telephone rang, so Tara left the dog for a second. It was her dad who was more excited about the wedding than her. Meanwhile, Jerry started delivering the flowers. He was pissed off that a vase fell. While driving, he tried to pick it up and never noticed a crossing dog. He hit Gabe. Earlier before the incident, Tara forgot to close the gate when she picked up the phone. A squirrel across the street caught Gabe's attention. He ran outside at the same time Jerry passed by their street. Tara heard a loud noise, so she went out to check it. She froze, seeing Gabe's body thrown away after the impact. Jerry, on the other hand, was trembling as he explained what had happened. At the church, Pete's best man assured him that Tara was only late. Suddenly, his phone rang, and it was Tara. The lady informed him about the accident. Pete ran outside the church, leaving the guests confused. At the clinic, he found Tara sobbing. He was comforting her when the doctor came out with bad news. He discovered that Gabe had acquired fatal injuries, and there was only a slim chance of survival through an operation. It will also cost them a lot to do that. Regardless, Tara and Pete agreed and pleaded with the doctor to do everything he could. Jerry approached the couple and offered to help pay the bill. However, they never accepted it. Jerry went back to his car, feeling sorry for Gabe. Hours passed by, and the doctor went out and apologized to the couple. He was not able to save their dog. Jerry had a breakdown seeing Tara and Pete crying. The couple didn't want to talk to him, so he wiped his tears and drove away. He wants to give them time grieving for their loss. After the accident, Gabe had no idea where he was. He is walking on the endless floor of clouds with harp music filling the air. He saw people lining up at the Golden Gate, so he went near them. Suddenly, a dog barked and talked to him. He is Denny, the gateman of dogs to enter heaven. Gabe went near to him and saw other animals lining up. Confused, Gabe asked him how to return to the church to attend Tara's wedding. The dog informed him that he was in heaven, so he asked about his name. Gabe introduced himself and recalled he was chasing a squirrel and got hit by a car. It was only at that moment that he realized he had passed away after the accident. Denny felt bad about his experience. He requested him to sign up in the record book for lifetime accommodation on a comfortable couch. Suddenly, the same squirrel who caused Gabe the accident trespassed the gates. Denny rattled and requested backup security through the telephone. Gabe grabbed that chance to escape. He saw a blinding light, and he assumed it was a passage back home. He ran towards the light, desperate to escape and attend Tara's wedding. Gabe was successful. He went inside Tara's house and saw Pete with her. The man gave her flowers, and they went out after. Gabe didn't want to be late for the ceremony, so he followed them. However, he was confused when they headed to the backyard. They placed the flowers in a tomb, and Gabe was surprised to see his name engraved on the cross. Tara was sobbing as she was talking to his grave. At that moment, Gabe realized that the wedding had never happened after his death. He was only a soul, so they couldn't hear or see him. Meanwhile, in heaven, Denny was counting off the animals when he discovered that Gabe had gone missing. He requested the management for a replacement dog to attend his shift. From a guard dog, he transformed into a man and went down on earth through a transparent ladder. He started searching for Gabe by sniffing the trees around the park. He looks great in a suit, but he sniffs like a dog. A passerby noticed him, and she laughed so hard. At home, Minister Steve was concerned about his daughter. She never attended church again after her dog passed away. Apart from that, she was also struggling financially. Tara looked stressed looking at the long list of unpaid vet bills. It was already a month after Gabe's accident, but they were still paying for his failed operation. Steve offered help, but she declined it. He also encouraged his daughter to pursue the wedding and assured her she didn't need to spend money for the ceremony. Tara was grateful for the advice, but she was not ready yet. She told her dad to give her more time to think about it. When she left, the minister secretly dropped some cash in her savings jar. Tara answered a call from a buyer of her wedding dress. She wants to sell it to earn more money for the bills. Gabe felt sad about Tara and the wedding that never happened because of him. He also disagrees with her selling the dress, and he feels he needs to do something. Gabe ran to the streets to ask for help. He tried calling the names of the people he met, but they never heard him. After Tara's canceled wedding and her dog's accident, everyone in town never see Jerry the same way again. They all blamed him for Gabe's death, the dog they adored the most. Not only that, the wedding was not pushed through because of the incident. Jerry delivers his flowers around the town, but no one accepts them anymore. The neighborhood was also cold to him except for the old woman Norma, who owns a diner. She was only the remaining customer of Jerry's shop. That day, Jerry visited her to deliver the purple flowers she requested. Jerry thanked her for her trust. Norma replied she only did that for his mom because she promised to patronize her shop. Gabe continued walking. He saw Jerry, and he was amused that the man could hear and see him. Jerry, on the other hand, was startled. He saw Gabe and was even more shocked that he could talk. He thought he had a dog hallucination. Gabe asked for help to make Tara and Pete's wedding happen. He told the man the heavens permitted him to return home for such a mission. Since he is the only person who can see him, he might be the instrument that God sent. Jerry thought that he kept imagining Gabe because he was guilty. He wants to freak out, but people may think he's losing his mind. Little did he know, someone was finding him crazy, Norma. She has been observing Jerry outside the shop, and he seems to be talking to an imaginable friend. Jerry refuses to help, but Gabe keeps bothering him from work until he goes to bed. One time Jerry attended church, and the minister talked about never being afraid to seek help, because there will always be people willing to extend their hands. Jerry wanted to hear more from the sermon, but Gabe was bothering him. He was still asking for help with Tara's wedding. Jerry was pissed off, so he raised his voice and said, "Fine." Everyone looked at him for interrupting the pastor. Jerry was embarrassed, and he didn't know how to respond. After seconds of silence, Jerry stood up and requested the minister if he could add something to the sermon. He told everyone that he needed help with Tara's wedding. He felt bad for hindering such an occasion last month and wants to make his mistake right. He asked them if they could chip in to throw a surprise wedding for Tara and Pete. The pastor disagreed because he finds it expensive. In the same manner, Norma declined because her restaurant might go bankrupt if she will offer food for the wedding. However, Jerry sounded positive that the whole town could work together to make it happen. He has more vacant days after the decreasing sales of flowers. He offered to work for free at Norma's diner in exchange for his request. He will also provide free service to anyone in the town to convince them. And he was successful. After Norma agreed to help, there was a domino of kindness that spread to other churchgoers. They all expressed their willingness to help Jerry. Meanwhile, Denny was having difficulty searching for Gabe. He posted pictures around the town to find him quickly. A little girl with sticky hands touched him. She saw a dog similar to the one he posted. The man became hopeful, but it turned out that the girl was referring to another poster across the street. Shortly after, another lady recognized the dog as Tara's. She gave the address to Denny after knowing he wanted to say his condolences. After the sermon, the minister talked to Jerry. He was still mad for hitting Gabe and making his daughter's wedding canceled. However, he loved the idea of bringing back community kindness, as he always shared during sermons. Steve wants to practice what he preaches, and he is willing to support him. He also challenged the man to convince Tara to attend church again. Jerry was delighted to hear it from him. He promised to do everything he could for the wedding. Outside the church, a lady saw Jerry talking with no one. She got curious, so she interrupted him. Jerry startled. He finds the lady attractive, and he feels embarrassed. She might think he's crazy, so he explained he was talking to himself. The woman introduced herself as Shauna. Jerry trembled, learning she was Tara's sister. However, Shauna seems sweet, and she makes him feel at ease. After Shauna left, Gabe teased Jerry for stuttering in front of a lady. He also assumed he was attracted to her. The next day, Tara and Pete walked on the street. They were discussing skipping buying birthday gifts for each other to save more money for the vet bill. Suddenly, Willow, the town's tailor, interrupted them. She was tasked to create the couple's attire for the wedding. She pretended to hug them while measuring their shoulders. The couple finds it weird, but they let it pass. Shortly after, another neighbor approached them. It was Kevin, and he asked about their favorite color. He also ran away after knowing they liked pink. Later that night, Jerry went to the church to volunteer for Minister Steve's feeding program. Tara's wedding was fast approaching, and he requested him to lead the ceremony. Steve assigned him to serve everyone's plate. While doing the job, Jerry was delighted to see Shauna also volunteering. They both enjoyed feeding jobless people. One of them is Carrie, a sweet and bubbly lady. She has been struggling financially and was grateful to Shauna for inviting her to the program. Steve saw how dedicated Jerry was. He told the man that even if he didn't volunteer, he would love to lead his daughter's wedding ceremony. Jerry couldn't contain his happiness as he bid goodbye to the minister. Shauna also greeted him goodnight, and he felt butterflies in his stomach. After a tiresome walk, Denny finally arrived at Tara's. The dog inside him was attracted to Gabe's little house in the backyard. He couldn't stop biting on the bones around it. Suddenly, Tara arrived, so he climbed to the tree as fast as he could. She was still grieving after losing Gabe. Little did she know, Gabe's soul looked at her from afar and wished to give her the wedding she deserved. Before going to bed, Gabe instructed Jerry to stop at Norma the next day to get the jukebox for the reception. Instead of nodding yes, the man keeps mentioning Shauna and the feeding program. At the same time, he looks bothered knowing she is Tara's sister. The dog laughed and teased him for having a crush on Shauna. Meanwhile, Denny ordered tea at Norma's. While sipping the drink, a woman entered the restaurant. She was Willow, the tailor working on Tara's dress. She asked for coffee to keep her awake throughout the night. While preparing the order, Norma spilled something on Jerry. She saw him the last time, talking to an imaginary friend and having dog hallucinations. Denny overheard them. He assumed that the imaginary friend they were referring to as Gabe. He interrupted the women and asked where to find Jerry. The next day, Jerry stopped by Paula's place. She and her husband, Hank, are mechanics and church musicians. Jerry asked for their help to fix his old car. If only his father were alive, he could restore it together. The couple was willing to extend help knowing how kind-hearted Jerry was. They also agreed to be in charge of the music on Tara and Pete's special day. After the tiring week, Jerry went to the lake with Gabe to unwind. He shared with the dog how he misses his dad so much. His father loved cars, and they bought an old one to be their project. After he passed away, Jerry never touched it. It got stuck up at home, and he felt terrible about himself. He thought he was a failure for not fixing it. Gabe cheered him up. He told the man his dad was surely proud of him. If only he could find a way to bring him back to Earth, he would surely do that. Gabe looked at Jerry. He stared into his eyes and thanked him for Tara's surprise wedding. He witnessed all his hard work, but it was only that time he could express his gratitude. It was fine for Jerry because he also owed an apology to the couple. He requested Gabe to encourage him at times he wants to give up. The next day, Jerry collected all the necessary tools for the reception. He started by borrowing a wheelbarrow from a gardener in exchange for flowers. He used the wheelbarrow to help the laborer carry the wood and borrowed his wood cutting tool. Jerry went to the church and gave the tool to Shauna. Gabe teased him again to the lady, especially with his wide smile while talking to her. The next stop is at Kevin's. He gave him the lens for the camera since he would be assigned to take photos. He ended the day by fulfilling the request of a good man who offered a room for the wedding. He wants Jerry to be a clown at his daughter's birthday party. The man was game to do it. Even if he is not into kids, Jerry tries his best to make them entertained. And he was successful. They all enjoyed his presence and even threw cakes at him. At the church, the minister requested Jerry to stand up and share updates about the secret wedding. The man smiled as he told everyone that he had already secured everything from food, music, photography, and many others. However, he falls short of collecting enough money for other expenses. An old woman raised her hand and told the man she was willing to donate an amount. A young boy was also willing to donate $1 to help him out. More and more people raised their hands after. Jerry got teary eyes, overwhelmed by the generosity of his neighbors. Shauna helped him collect all the donations. Jerry was about to leave the church when Shauna called him. The lady wondered when he would offer free service to her like what he did to their neighbors. The man smiled and said he could get any requests from her done in the afternoon since he had nothing to do. Shauna promised to help someone clean her garage. However, she has been busy for days, and she wants him to fulfill the promise. It was fine for Jerry, so he asked about the address. He reads it and realized it was Tara's home. Shauna thought it would be the right time for them to reconcile. The lady wished him luck by kissing his cheeks. Jerry was left alone at the church. He talked to the heavens and pleaded for help. He felt nervous because it would be his first time meeting Tara and Pete after the accident. He knew they were still mad, but he wanted to ask for any sign in case they wanted to talk to him. That instant, Gabe arrived and encouraged the man to go out. Jerry went to Tara's. It took him a while before he had the courage to knock on the door. Tara arrived from the neighborhood, and she wondered why he had come. The door opened, and Pete was also surprised to see him. Jerry stuttered as he tried to talk to them. Pete hated him so much that he interrupted him as he apologized. He also talked rudely to the man, but Tara stopped him. She let Jerry enter their home. Inside, the three were awkwardly sitting in the living area. Jerry broke the silence by telling them he never liked dogs. He also hated how they smelled and licked anyone's faces. He never understood why people cared for them as if they were humans. Not until he saw how Pete and Tara cried when Gabe passed away. He realized that he never took away a dog's life but a family member. Tara cried, hearing those words from him. She also blamed herself for not closing the gate when her father called. If she could return in time, she would change that moment and make it right. Pete hugged her, and he apologized for not being there during the accident. Jerry doesn't want to be emotional, so he bid goodbye. Tara hugged him so tight and thanked him for coming over. Jerry couldn't hold back his tears. It was such a relieving experience to be forgiven for the mistake he committed. He offered them a service to clean their garage, as Shauna requested. The couple was confused because they had never had one. At that moment, Jerry realized that Shauna only made an excuse for him to visit her sister. Regardless, he was still happy that he had come. The couple also looked happier than ever. It was like a thorn was removed from their hearts. Jerry grabbed the chance to invite them to church on Sunday. The couple looked at each other, smiling. They thought it was about time to restore their faith after they lost Gabe. Tara and Pete's wedding day is fast approaching. Jerry thanked Willow for letting him use the studio for the reception. Willow assured the man she could take care of it by the weekend. However, when Jerry checks the place, he finds it messy. Trashes and broken furniture are everywhere, and it will take a lot of time to clean up those. Jerry went to the feeding program and thought of giving the homeless a job. He promised to pay all of them for their collected donations. They were game to do it, including Shauna. He thanked the lady for always supporting and encouraging him to visit her sister. After having their meal, everyone headed to Willow's studio to transform the place. Carrie supervised the progress of the tasks. Tara's dad and sister wholeheartedly accepted her, so she thought of giving back. It was already nighttime when they finished cleaning and decorating the studio. As the wedding day got nearer, Jerry became more pressured even if everything was falling into place. The special day will be tomorrow, and he doesn't want to have sleep. Suddenly, the doorbell rang, and it was Denny. He was delighted to finally see Gabe, the dog who escaped during his shift in heaven. Jerry noticed that the man could hear and see Gabe. He told him it was about time to return to heaven. Jerry pleaded with him to let Gabe stay for another day. They were all preparing for the wedding, and he was looking forward to attending it. Denny was convinced, so he approved an extended stay on Earth. Denny amused Jerry after learning he was sent from heaven. To thank him, he offered the man to stay in his house for the meantime. A day before the wedding, Willow talked to Jerry that they had to cancel the wedding. Jerry immediately went to the studio to check the problem. Shauna said there would be a power interruption, and it would be impossible to hold the reception in her studio. Jerry froze. He never expected that such a problem would arise when they had only hours left to prepare. Carrie offered to help, but Jerry had no cash for his salary. The lady smiled at him, saying she would work for free. She recommended transferring the event to his greenhouse. She promised to do everything to make the wedding successful. Apart from Carrie, the people of the minister's feeding program also extended help to finish decorating on time. The next day, Pete and Tara looked happy as they headed to church. After they left, Gabe instructed Denny to get the ring from under his doghouse. The couple arrived at the church and noticed that no one was there. The minister approached them and requested to get inside and get changed for the ceremony. Even if they were confused, they still followed his request. Tara opened the door and saw a beautiful dress. She had no idea that Willow made it, especially for her. Meanwhile, at the reception, everyone was busy doing the final touches. Tara was emotional as she walked down the aisle with her father. She couldn't believe the wedding was pushed through despite their financial struggles. The minister asked for the ring, but the couple apologized for never buying one. Suddenly, a puppy came running towards them. It was so cute and was carrying the ring they had lost. The minister said that someone who loves them found it. He would also like them to be the new fur parents of the puppy. The couple got so excited to own another pet finally. They promised to pour all their love into the dog like how they loved Gabe. Tara and Pete ended the ceremony with a passionate kiss. The minister looked happy seeing his daughter marrying the man of her dreams. After the wedding, the couple noticed arrows instructing directions. They followed it and found themselves in a beautiful greenhouse while romantic music filled the air. The guests clapped as the newlywed entered the reception. Their neighbors, who were behind the preparation, turned emotional as the couple danced. Jerry was grateful to Carrie for turning the greenhouse into a romantic venue. Suddenly, some couples approached him, because they were interested in booking the place for their weddings too. Jerry accepted them and hired Carrie as his assistant. Jerry looked at Tara and Pete, and they seemed so happy. Shortly after, the master of the ceremony announced to everyone that the dance floor was open for couples. Jerry looked at Shauna and invited her to dance. Meanwhile, Denny and Gabe were fulfilled that their mission was over. They decided to leave the earth and return to heaven. Before entering the portal, Jerry came running to bid goodbye to Gabe. He will finally leave for good and he will surely miss him so much. Denny and Gabe entered the portal and disappeared. Tara called everyone's attention. She was emotional with her neighbors, who treated her as a family. She could not describe how happy she was with the surprise wedding they had prepared for her. Finally, she also acknowledged Jerry for making a dream wedding possible. Jerry was pleased to help but was too shy to accept compliments. He excused himself and went outside. Shauna followed Jerry and spotted him sitting on a bench. After learning he feels awkward taking compliments, she invited him to spend time with her on a road trip. Jerry had a big smile because he secretly liked the lady the first time he met her. He agreed to go with her. At the parking, Paula surprised Jerry with his dad's old car that she had restored. It looks brand new and cool. He got excited to finally use it for the first time with the woman he adored the most.